Ever noticed someone's peculiar habits and thought, why do they do that? Well, what if I told you there's a deeper story behind those quirks? Today, we're diving into the fascinating world of unusual mannerisms exhibited by individuals who've been through the ringer with narcissists. You see, these behaviors aren't just random, they're often subtle signals of a deeper journey. So, buckle up because we're about to uncover the hidden language of those affected by narcissistic abuse. Stick around, you won't want to miss this. Persistent apologizing. Victims of narcissistic abuse may find themselves caught in a cycle of constant apologies. This behavior stems from a deeply ingrained fear of displeasing others or facing repercussions, even for things that are not their fault. It's a reflexive response developed to preemptively diffuse potential conflicts or avoid retribution. Hypervigilance. Survivors often display hypervigilant behavior, remaining acutely aware of their surroundings and the emotional cues of others. This heightened alertness arises from a history of needing to anticipate the needs, moods, or potential volatility of the narcissistic abuser to prevent escalating situations or to protect themselves from harm. Self-doubt and low self-esteem, prolonged exposure to gaslighting, manipulation, and constant criticism can severely erode a person's self-confidence and sense of self-worth. Victims may grapple with chronic self-doubt, struggle with imposter syndrome, and battle persistent feelings of inadequacy instilled by the narcissist. Decision-making challenges. Individuals who have experienced narcissistic abuse might exhibit hesitancy or anxiety when making decisions. This hesitance often stems from the fear of making the wrong choice and facing severe consequences or criticism from the abuser, which was a recurring pattern in their past experiences. Conflict avoidance. The fear of confrontation and its associated emotional distress might lead survivors to actively avoid any form of conflict, often at the expense of their own needs or desires. This avoidance behavior is an attempt to maintain peace and avoid triggering negative reactions from others. Excessive apologies and over-explanation. Victims might find themselves over-apologizing or over-explaining their actions, seeking validation or approval due to the deeply ingrained belief that they are inherently at fault or that their actions are constantly under scrutiny. Social withdrawal. Some survivors might withdraw from social interactions or isolate themselves to shield against potential harm or manipulation. This withdrawal serves as a protective mechanism to avoid further emotional distress or re-victimization. Trust issues. Given their past experiences of betrayal and manipulation, individuals who have been abused by narcissists may struggle with trust issues. Building and maintaining trust in relationships becomes challenging due to the fear of being hurt or deceived again. Perfectionism. The need for perfection might stem from a history of being hyper-criticized or punished for mistakes by the narcissistic abuser. Survivors may strive for flawlessness, fearing that any perceived imperfection could lead to adverse consequences. People-pleasing behavior. Victims may engage in excessive people-pleasing behaviors, prioritizing others' needs over their own in an attempt to avoid conflict or gain acceptance. This behavior often originates from the conditioning of catering to the demands of the narcissistic abuser to minimize tension or abuse. These mannerisms and behaviors can vary significantly among individuals based on their unique experiences and coping mechanisms. Seeking professional help, such as therapy or counseling, is instrumental in understanding and addressing these behaviors, fostering healing and regaining a sense of autonomy and self-worth.